Hello everyone, it's Luphisra here. Today I'll be playing Suhoshin, a murder mystery visual novel game that takes place in medieval Joseon period of Korea. It's kind of a rare setting for a game. And yes, this is not point and click. So you're gonna have different expectations for this game. Also, hello, Ghosty Ozzy. Hello, Cheese. Hello, Dharmic Gamer. It's good to see all of you. How you doing? Now, just before I officially start, if you've been here last stream, I talked about how I wasn't feeling too well. I kind of still feel a little bit, no, my tummy still hurts a little. It's not too bad, but it's definitely still there. Discomfort. I got a bit of a headache. But this is a visual novel. It's mainly talking to people. We just have to see how interesting the story is to keep me awake long enough. And also how long my throat can stand this game, because there's no voiceover whatsoever for this game, unfortunately. So I've got to read everything. I had honey water prepared, but I don't know. We'll see. So let's just get started. Okay, story, characters, location, entirely fictional. Okay. Would you like to see a tutorial? Why not? Tutorial. This is the index. As you progress through the game, some words will be displayed in red. These are Korean terms. You'll probably want to know what they mean. When you see these words pop up in red, head over to the index menu to understand what they're talking about. Depending on your actions, events will change for better or worse. Your journey will be mapped out in the flowchart menu. You may jump between these scenes at any time, erasing the need to start back from the beginning of the story. You'll even unlock new branches after certain events. Don't worry about not being able to go back and head down a different path. Suhoshin has autosave feature. This save is performed at the beginning of each scene. If any problems arise during your playthrough, you'll find your data in the last slot of the load menu. But we do recommend that you save often. So there's autosave and manual save if you want to save. Secrets. New mysteries and secrets will be revealed during your journey through Suhoshin. We would greatly appreciate it if you didn't disclose these secrets to your friends or the people of the internet. Well, I'm streaming this game, so sorry about that. Everything will be disclosed to anyone who's watching. Thank you for your discretion. Okay, start the game. So if we are unhappy with a decision, we can go back to erase it, which is nice. Prologue. Southeast of Joseon. From my vantage point, I could see a river in the distance. I reined in my horse and looked up at the sky. It was getting late, and I was losing daylight. It was the 7th day since my departure from Hanyang, and the last since the village I stopped at. Hanyang, I think, is the capital, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it used to be Hanyang. It's now Seoul, or as they'll pronounce it in English, Seoul. Okay, I was exhausted. I was also starting to miss human contact more and more. I couldn't wait to rest in the comfort of my own home. Thankfully, I was getting close to my final destination, I mean. How about we find a place to stop for the day? It's nighttime, but sure. That river is just 10 minutes away. I should set up camp over there and get some sleep. It'll only take another half a day or at most to reach my village. If I head out early enough tomorrow morning, I should arrive by noon. I'll wait to see my old friends and get a start on this new job. Spurt my horse on once more, continuing my journey to the southeast. Even though I was tired, Every time I thought about reuniting with the people I had left behind, I could feel a tingle of excitement. Since now then near my return, so it's going to be quite the big surprise. Well, you're going to be very surprised because there's murder. 2 minutes later, I reached the riverbank. Tethered my horse to a tree and filled my flask with water. Hope this would get my last night sleeping during the stars. This would be my last night sleeping. Okay. I'm in for another cold night. I ought to light a small fire. We're collecting some firewood and kindling scattered around about the area. Part of Joseon was a land of many mountains and forests, so firewood was easy to come by. Joseon is old Korea. That's what they were called back in the day. It was between 1392 and 1910. Okay. Gathered wood until I had a big enough stack to last the night. Then I sat down and went about lighting my fire. Yeah, this is a visual novel, so I don't have to do anything but read. Nights were going colder and colder, making it necessary to have a fire. Let's see how much food is left. I have a good supply of rice and meat. That should be enough to get me through my final day. This river is so close, I won't be lacking water anytime soon. As I nibbled my lackluster dinner, I dreamed about the next hot meal I would be treating myself to once I arrived. There was a jumak in the village. I always loved going to since the food is so good. Jumak being like restaurant? Oh, popular tavern. Normally operated by female jumos, alcohol mothers, where one could go to get a hot meal and have a few alcoholic beverages. Also served as sort of inn for travelers. The jumak was a great place to get together and discuss goings on with other village folk. I had quite a few pleasant memories from my time there. After mopping up the last scraps of my meal, I pulled my blanket out of my pack. Huh? Who goes there? No one had appeared upon my campsite. I hadn't heard the snap of single signaling her approach. I was rather odd since noticing suspicious sounds had been one of the lessons I've been taught during my training. So she's not a normal person, I'm guessing. Yet she has like some skills. Was exhaustion to blame? Nope, I don't think so. Trip had tired me out mentally, but physically I still felt fine. I'd probably gone far too relaxed without realizing what was happening since I hadn't noticed a soul for 2 days now. Either way, there was no village within walking distance, and this woman seemed to be on foot, wearing her everyday clothes and carrying no pack whatsoever. How'd she gotten here? The question baffled me, especially considering how late it was and that we were in the middle of nowhere. Good evening to you, miss. She gave no response. What are you doing out here? I asked you that same question. It's rather unusual for young men like you to spend the night in a place like this. Isn't it more unusual for a woman back in the day to be out alone at night? I mean, considering the fact, okay, I'm not too well up on my ancient Korea knowledge, but I feel like it's more normal back in the day during the time period, whether it's Korea or China or even Japan, for men to be out traveling, whether it's for jobs or for school or anything, right? Wouldn't it be more weird for a woman to be out alone? The logic doesn't make sense here. Voice was calm, her demeanor collected. She's just suspicious. She didn't look to be lost. The whole situation was a bit unsettling. I returned to my home in Yangdong. I still have half a day's right ahead of me, so I decided to camp here for the night and set off again in the morning. Also, we don't owe her an explanation. Why the fuck do we have to answer any of her questions? I see. May I share a fire? Wouldn't have been proper for me to refuse. I would have refused. I'll be an asshole and be like, nope. I mean, just a random person in the middle of nowhere, no travel stuff, just popping up with such an expression. I would think she's an assassin or something, but that's just me. Okay, I nodded. Sat down across from me and glanced at my bangs. No matter how I racked my brain, I couldn't recall meeting such a person like her before. Seems like you have come very far. Where are you riding in from? Hanyang. Or Hanyang? Hanyang. Saying it like Chinese, I'm sorry. I spent the last 3 years there, and today counts the 7th day of my journey home. What did you clip? What did you clip? All the don't disclose. I'm sorry, Gabe. I'm disclosing everything. I'm sorry. So then you're coming from the capital. What business do you have there? Set up conversation as if there's nothing at all strange about her arrival. Considering that no one wants to talk about for the past 2 days, I was up for chat. You know what? I just started, but I can see why people didn't like the main guy as much when they're reviewing the game. Like, even in the positive reviews, some of them were like saying this guy was like not great. I kind of see where they're getting from when they call him incompetent and stuff. Yeah, like strange lady popping up out of nowhere, no bags, no travel equipment, and doesn't answer a single question, and just suddenly she asks you all these weird questions, and you automatically what? Pour your life out to her? See, this is what get you killed. This is what would get you killed. The contrived is stamped on big boat. Yeah, all over contrived. Just contrived, incompetent, 2 big fucking words all over this game. Went there for my training. Gave me a look that told me she expected me to continue. Be a training necessary needed to become an officer. After passing the Kwagyo, I was told to return to Yangdong. Okay, is the civil service examination. Yes. So it's like a national exam back in the day. You know, if you want to become an official or anything, you got to take this exam. Again, not very up with my ancient Korea knowledge, okay? When I was in Korea, I learned about modern Korea. I didn't really learn much about ancient Korea. It's quite a feat of intelligence. And you went to Hanyang to prepare for the exam. I could remember it as if it had happened only yesterday. I've been dreaming of becoming an officer ever since I was a small child. But since I grew up in Yangdong, such a small village far to the southeast of the capital, I knew that accomplishing such a dream would be difficult. There was no school nearby and no means of training for that sort of job within reach. There are only a few soldiers stationed in our town. So when I was young, I tried to set myself apart from my peers by making myself useful whenever I could. I think that was why one of the noblemen took notice of me and offered to pay for me to travel to Hanyang, where I could get a formal education. Of course, I accepted and set off to the capital at once. Quite the courageous move on your part. It must not have been easy setting off on your own like that, leaving your friends and family behind. I no real family to speak of, no memories of my parents. Spent my entire childhood in an orphanage. That was why I built such solid bonds with the people of the village. They were the only family I had. Leaving them behind had proven to be quite the ordeal, but I knew that didn't be forever. Thought that was funny because I've seen a game say that before. I mean, I've seen some games have disclaimers about like not wanting to disclose stuff online, but it's kind of hard now, right? Like, because streaming is such a thing. You know, and there's YouTube where people post videos. Like, someone watching would obviously, they know they're gonna get spoiled, right? So in this day and age, though, I think it's kind of hard to have that kind of disclaimer in your games. If someone was looking up the game or its review or watching people play it, obviously they're not I mean, they're not like not expecting to be spoiled, right? Like for example, if I'm watching like say Nina struggles play a game, like I know that I'm going into it being spoiled, meaning I'm interested. Either I don't want to play it myself, so I'm okay with just watching people play, or I don't mind being spoiled either way. If I don't want to be spoiled, I probably won't be watching or the video. I won't be looking up anything about the game. You know, and nowadays there's like spoiler alert stuff. Whatever site you go to, Steam, Discord, you have the spoiler markers. If you are going to spoil the game plot, you can black it out. Even if it's on Reddit, you can black it out. Usually people who are nice enough would do that. It's only like 1 or 2 people, I feel, that would purposely spoil a game for you, which would suck. That happened to me once. I was playing a mobile game, you know, the 5v5, you know, something similar to Mobile Legends, but it's like the Chinese version. The OG, I guess you could say. They call it 王者荣耀 in Chinese. And then it was before Marvel Endgame. I got spoiled on who died before I went to watch the movie. I was like, fuck. Why did you post that? When I'm playing a damn game and then you just talk about Marvel with the spoiler like that, like fuck you. But I still end up going to theaters to watch the movie, and I still cried my ass off. So okay, let's continue. What do your instructors teach you? We focus on several different subjects. In terms of combat, I was trained to handle a variety of weapons, bow and spear among them. I was also taught how to serve as a bodyguard. And I was on a horse practically every day. Our conversation continued, but I still had no idea who this woman was. Why the fuck are you just pouring your life story out to a woman you don't even know the name of? Okay, see, this is why people, when they give bad reviews to this game, the one thing that I feel like stood out to me more than anything else is that this guy is fucking competent. He's like dumb. Is what people were talking about, literally. Like everything else, like the whole reading, everything, it's a visual novel. I pretty much know what I'm expecting when I go into a visual novel. Granted, it's been a while since I played visual novels, okay? I played it when I was really young. Okay, I was into otome games and that kind of stuff. Visual novels have been a while. I'll get that. But character-wise, I think, yeah, this guy's gonna piss me off. He has no common sense, and he's an officer. He's like stupid. You should at least let her introduce herself first. Had to ask. Pardon me, will you tell me what brought you out here? It's getting late. We're in the middle of nowhere. You should not jump straight to suspicion, young man. Why the fuck would I not? You didn't introduce yourself. You didn't tell me your name. You're in the middle of fucking nowhere. No weapons. No training equipment. Like, no traveling, nothing. No horse. In the middle of fucking nowhere. What else do you want me to think? I've been living Yangdong for a few months now, which explains why we have never met before. It was Mr. Lee, the village Sato himself, who welcomed me when I arrived. Sato. During the Joseon period, Sato was a high-ranking official sent by the king to watch over each of the cities and villages of Joseon. Okay, like a mayor? Kind of like a mayor? I feel like I'll be able to pronounce it more accurately if it's written in Korean, but it's all in English, so I'm kind of going to butcher it a little bit. I also met Mr. Kim, as well as his wife and daughter. That's far too specific to be concocted on the spot. There's no way she could just happen upon the details of those families, especially the surnames of the village Yangbans. Yangbans like nobles. Yeah, nobles. Aristocrats, highest ranking under the royalty status. Often head out this way on horseback rides, but I do believe that I pushed myself and my horse a bit too far this afternoon. My horse threw me and took off. I've been walking for a few hours now, thinking I was heading toward Yangdong, but I must have taken a wrong turn somewhere. I knew I was lost and began to worry. It's good fortune meeting you out here, otherwise I do not know what had become of me. Would you mind if I spend the night here? Perhaps you could show me the way in the morning. Of course, I would never presume to ask a lady to fend for herself in the woods. Here, take my blanket. It's getting quite chilly at night, and I'll hate for you to fall ill. Call me cold-hearted, but I don't mind if it was me. I'm sorry. Too suspicious. Irma, hello. Good to see you. Very kind of you, but how will you manage without it? I got some warmer clothes in my packet. They will suffice. Are you sure? Yes, I'll be fine. I have no food to offer you. Must be hungry. A little, but I also should be to hold out for a day. Something for a small pouch, and she held it up to me. I'd like to offer you this norige as a token of my gratitude. Norige. Norige, traditional Korean ancestry. Usually found hanging off a person's clothes to bring good luck, long life, or many sons. Luna and Yuri can both be seen wearing one. And you say Suna and Yuri as if I should know who they are. I don't know who they are. Yeah, but this is like a jade, like Yu Pei in Chinese. That's what I call it. Kind of similar. Protects its owner from all manner of misfortune. Thank you so much. Okay, Yuri is this guy. Okay. I don't believe my actions merit any sort of reward. So Suna might be... Either Suna is this lady, or it would be someone else. But yeah. Is jade expensive? I would imagine so, yes. At least back in the day. I don't know about Korea though, but I think, you know, you've got to have some money to be able to get one and wear it. Again, I'm not too familiar with ancient Korea history. You know, but Joseon, Korea is closely connected to China back in the day. I imagine it's similar. I mean, you got to be at least like from the normal class, you know, in order to have a jade pendant. I don't think like if you're really poor that you're able to afford one. Right? Common sense. I insist. I very much want you to have it. I can't deny it. I can just take it. Ah! I'll just come back to this later. If you insist, I'll keep it close. Slipped it into my bag. Please don't let this be some kind of like evidence. She committed a crime, that she gave me the thing, and I just kept it. That'll be bad. Give that another word. She wrapped the blanket around her body and lay down next to the fire. Looks as though the mishap of the day had her tired, and I thought it better to let her have a good night's rest. She was a mysterious woman, and I realized that I hadn't even had the chance to ask for her name. Still, that wasn't a pressing issue. We have plenty of opportunities to talk things over during our journey tomorrow. I took a few more items of clothing out of my bag to help me stay warm. And after stroking the fire for a few minutes and making sure it would burn for at least a few more hours, I lay down to sleep as well. We may use our little gray cells, pardon me. Ah, little gray cells. I was falling asleep soon after because I had no other memories of that night. Okay, that's the prologue. We are now on day 1. Southeast of Joseon. Or Joseon. Joseon? I think that's how I pronounce it, Joseon. I waked up at dawn, feeling refreshed after a good night's sleep. Fire must have gone out sometime during the night, but because the embers were cold. As I pondered the fire, I hadn't woken up once during the night to stroke the flames. That wasn't like me at all. I was supposed to be looking after a mini companion, but I slept through the night instead. Although that was not officially one of my duties, it was a bit negligent on my part. I took a look around. There was no sign of the woman from the night before. Where'd she go? Looked over to where she had bedded it down for the night, but she was nowhere to be seen. Neither was my blanket. In fact, my blanket was draped across my shoulders. Am I going mad? I vividly remember putting on another layer of clothes last night to keep warm. I reached through my bag. Everything's in proper place. Even the clothes I remember putting on last night. That's odd. absolutely sure that I gave her my blanket and put on an extra layer of clothes. How did the clothes I was wearing end up in my bag? Was all that just a dream? I did see, I think, in the review that there is kind of a bit of a supernatural element to this game. I'm not sure how much of it would be supernatural, though, so we got to just see. So it could be a dream. Call for the woman, search the area, check my horse, or nothing. I don't think I should really call for the woman because I don't even know her name. What am I gonna call her? Hey, lady! I could either search the area or check my horse. If I still have my horse with me. Actually, though, you know what? One option that I would want in here is like, can I check my bag? Can I check my bag and see if I have the jade pendant in my bag? Because if I do have the jade pendant, it means that it's not a dream. She actually appeared. I don't know if she's a spirit or what. If I don't have the jade pendant, that it could be a prophecy, you know, kind of thing, like a prophetic dream. Do you even have a... He had a bag. He just said he had a bag with his clothes in it. So he, in his mind, he took out the clothes to put it on because he gave the blanket to the lady. So he had the bag. He put the jade pendant that the lady gave him into the bag. So my question is, if there is a supernatural element, it could be a spirit. Might be someone important that is like really out looking after us. I mean, she didn't harm us, so clearly not a danger yet. You know, if it's a dream though, it could be like a dream of the future or something. She would be a character that's important. I would think, since she showed up, obviously. Which, if she is a spirit or it's a dream of the future, then makes sense why she's in the middle of nowhere with no nothing on her. Okay, what do I need to do though? Search the area, check my horse. Because I want to search the back for the jade pendant, but I also want to see if she stole my horse or not. You know, it could be that she put the blanket back on Yuri and then she just took the horse and ran off. What should I do? Should I search the area or check my horse? I mean, if you're not happy with the choice, we could always come back and change it. That's a good thing about this game, I guess. What do you guys think? Search the area or check my horse? Search the area? Okay, you know what? Let's search the area. Checked out the place where I could remember her bedding down for the night. Let's have a look. Can clearly remember her stretching out right next to the fire. That's so strange. She couldn't have slept here. The grass is completely undisturbed. Took another look around. Not a single trace of her. Not sure what to make of that. What should I do? Oh, I can pick all these options? Oh, damn it. I thought it was only one. Okay, fine. Check my horse. Went over to my horse, finding her right where I left her, next to the river. You saw that woman too, didn't you, girl? Did she slip away sometime in the night, or was it this morning? Regardless, that's not eye tight, I'm sure of it. Let's face it, if she actually left the scene, you'll be gone too. If only you could tell me what you saw. Anyway, you'll be carrying enough of a burden, having to let me around all day. Gave her a gentle pat. Horse it, nay, yeah, nah, didn't see anything. Gave a gentle pat and walked back to camp. Okay, so I can do everything pretty much. Damn it, I thought this was an important choice. Guess not. The murders haven't happened yet. Okay, hello, ma'am. No response. So I try one more time, a bit louder this time. Hello, is anyone here? Again, no response. Only the bird seemed to be within earshot. Walked down to the river and called again. Hello? She's gone. If she was still close by, she would have heard me by now. definitely a spirit. She's a spirit. I'm calling it now. She's a ghost. Explained that she had been thrown from the horse and walked all this way, but it's such a long way from the village. How could that be? Didn't seem all that worried to me. I remember giving her my blanket, but that is clearly not the case. Must have been a dream. No other explanation. Must have been so exhausted I imagined meeting women who had lost away. I slept through the night, neglecting my flame work completely. It's been such a long time since that happened. It must have been harder on me than I thought. Well, there's no time to waste. Must be off to the village. Still rather early. If I head out now, I should get there by noon. Pack up my things and ready my horse. Off we go! I know it's a visual novel, so I'm asking too much, but I feel like I want something like animation instead of just like pictures. It's kind of tired. Yangdong Village. Okay, after riding for a few hours, I was able to make out Yangdong in the distance. I've been away for 3 whole years, but in just a few minutes, I'll be back at the place I called home. A wave of emotion hit me. I was about to meet all my old friends again and get started on this new job of mine. This small village of only a few hundred people was where I grew up. I lived in a small house outside of the walls near the southern gate. Our village was quite isolated from the rest of Joseon, the closest town being several days away by horse. Here in Yangdong, we lived off the land and were fairly self-sufficient. There was always enough to go around. After passing the exam, I've been expected to be assigned to one of the largest cities, but my orders were to return to Yangdong instead. Since this was such a quiet town, I figured that most of my job would be centered around helping the community. I should veer west, skirting the village so that I can stop by my house and drop off my things. After that, I'll be free to catch up with my friends. Yuri's house. Home sweet home, at last my journey is over. House is clean and smelled as fresh as the day I left it. Wow, not a speck of dust to be found. I should thank Suha for taking such good care of the place while I was gone. Suha was, the neighbor and my childhood friend. My best friend, really. When I left home, she kindly offered to keep an eye on the place and tidy up every once in a while. From the looks of things, she had gone above and beyond simply tidying up. I must also make sure to say hello to Mr. Kim. He's the highest ranking Yangban in the village. It's all thanks to him that my dreams became a reality. So Yunbok will be delighted to know that I'm back too. I think visual like this is more accessible for newer devs. Yeah, I suppose it would be easier to program a game like this as compared to, say, if you were to add cutscenes. Like personally, I would love to have more cutscenes. You know, because I've played other games before where there's some cutscenes where the characters will be voiced, but then the other times mostly it's like the quiet. You know, for example, the Layton games. You know, I know that's not really a visual novel, but you kind of have that kind of like UI, I suppose. No, this one I think just purely like old style visual novel. So it's easier to make, you know, because it's more like a slideshow-ish, technically. You can even make a game like this, honestly though, for yourself on like, say, Google Slides or something. You know, it's not that difficult. I mean, if you're just starting out, I suppose. Easier to program as well, I think. All you really need to do is design the art style and get the story straight. I suppose that's why a lot of people online on Steam says it's very straightforward and linear. It's definitely not more of the more modern like modern games. I know some more modern like games, even if it's more like visual novel or story based, that sometimes it will have some puzzles in it like included. This one I think is just purely visual novel. I think it needs a specific engine. I think I've seen some. Like there is if it the easiest one, I think there's one game engine that's specifically made for visual novels. Like if you want to make an anime visual novel. That one I heard was really popular. I forgot the name of it. Of course, there's the more other engines as well that you could use. Some of them don't even really need programming. Like Unity? No. No, this one doesn't need Unity. What's the name of that software again to make a visual novel? I can look it up. I don't remember the name, but I've seen it before. I can't draw though, so obviously. Okay, wait. Ren'Py, yeah, Ren'Py. Yes, that's it, Ren'Py. Ren'Py is the easiest. Like if you want to make like a pure visual novel, like similar to this kind of style, Ren'Py is the easiest to get a hold of. You know, easiest to use. But that's only pure visual novel. So if you're making something like this and you're able to draw or get all the art done, you could probably just use Ren'Py and it'll work. Don't really need to know like programming too much to figure it out. Because there's some software like engines that if you you need to know like a bit of programming to get it like done. Then there's some where if you're making just a normal visual novel, you don't really need programming. You could just fiddle with the software and get it done. So yeah. But yeah, this is more of the typical visual novel. Like in a way though, I would say like Coffee Talk is also considered a visual novel in a way. Because you do just talk to people and listen to their stories. But the difference between that, because that's more modern. Because you get to do some puzzles and stuff. You know, there's that kind of visual novel. This one is the classic, like, retro style, I think. At least from what I've seen in the reviews on Steam, I don't think you get to solve any, like, puzzles and stuff. You just talk to people, mainly. Which is why I need honey water. Ah, shit, I dripped onto my mouse pad. Damn it, I'll clean it later. Okay. Sure, you can probably do like, okay. It's always friendly to me, always pushing me toward my dream of becoming a soldier like Kim. Come to think of it, it might not be a bad idea to invite Suhan and Yoonbuk for a drink at the Chumak tonight. Oh no, what? Oh no, what? Oh no, what? What do you mean, oh no? Don't say oh no and then say nothing. What do you mean, oh no? Oh no, what? Also, as you think about that, oh no, who do you guys want to? Oh, yeah, drip water. It's gonna stain a little bit. Lucky it's just honey water though, so there's no color or anything. It's just gonna have a mark. I could clean it easily later. Honestly though, I gotta read so much with this game. It's I'm starting to think that next time maybe I don't know. I feel like I have to do pure reading. I might die. I could play this game concurrently with another game actually. Can you do everyone? I think so. I think you could do everyone. But I think who should I visit first? Because Yuri, the main character, he mentioned that he wants to invite both Suwa and Yoonbuk, who are both his friends, to drink with him at night. So we're going to have to visit the two of them, no matter what. So Mr. Kim is just the Yangban, so he's the important like mayor guy. So Mr. Kim? Okay. Yeah, I think you should go Mr. Kim first, and then we can go visit our friends. They will understand if I don't pick them first, right? Mr. Kim. Yangban District. So the noble district, the rich district, so to speak. Okay, when I arrived at the Yangban District, I found Mr. Kim standing outside. Mr. Kim! Hello, Yuri. I see that you have returned. Good morning, sir. Just got back this afternoon. Oh. Okay, sorry. I had a pretty filling dinner and then I drank Coke, so I'm a bit gassy at the moment. My bad. Okay, just got back Just got back this afternoon. That's good to hear. I received word that you passed examination. Congratulations, my boy. Plus, your training's complete then. Yes, sir, it is. I'd like to thank you once more for giving me the chance to go to the capital. It was more than I could ever dreamed of, and the amount of skills I've learned far exceeded my expectations. I'm glad to hear that you enjoyed your time there. How long did the trip take you? Almost 8 days altogether. That's quite the long trip. You must be tired. Maybe a little. Oh, to be young again. That's just like you at your age. How's family? My wife and daughter are both fine, thank you. Ah, Yuri, there you are. This is Mr. Lee. He does not look happy. Yuri doesn't look happy. Do they hate Mr. Lee or something? Good morning, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee was a Sato of Yangdong, responsible for overseeing the affairs of the village. Seems as though your journey back was an uneventful one, yes? That's right, sir. No problems at all. I was told that I was assigned here, but given no further instructions. I'm ready to carry out any orders that you may have of me. Oh, have you rested today? And tomorrow, Yuri, we can discuss your assignment after that. Visit your friends, inform everyone of your arrival, and get your affairs in order. I have important matters to attend to. I must be off. Very well, sir. I'll see you soon, Yuri. Welcome home. Thank you, sir. Okay, so he's not a bad guy yet. This kid was always so busy. It's rare that conversations with him lasted very long. Okay, Mr. Lee. Yuri, you have been granted an extraordinary privilege. You are aware of that, are you not? It's not normal to hear of a person like you going to the capital to take the military examination. However, it was Mr. Kim's decision, so I could not object. I can only hope that you rise to the position that has been granted to you and realize just how fortunate you are. I understand, sir. You can count on me. Mr. Lee was known to be rather cold, so his lecture didn't come as a surprise. Until someone steps up with a job for you, you'll be under my employ. After your 2 days leave expires, of course. Thank you, sir. I'm yours to command. Sounds as though you're full of orders well enough. That is good. I expect no problems to arise if that continues. Now, please, tell me what you learned during your time in Hanyang. I was in charge of a few criminal investigations. I was told that I had a knack for it. So the game is setting up that he has a knack for it, but we have know from the reviews on Steam that he can be incompetent and dumb. So just keep that in mind when you go through this game, okay? Expect stupid decisions. And him being oblivious to stuff is what I'm expecting from this guy. Okay, besides that, they said I was good at cross-examining witnesses. Oh, we can do the cross-examination thing. Like Ace Attorney, okay. Beg your pardon? Such skills would be of no use here. Don't say it too quickly. There's gonna be murders very soon, I'm sorry. What a waste. So much time spent, capital, nothing to show for it. Not true, so I'm capable of a number of other tasks, like standing, watching, keeping peace. He's unexperienced. I would think he's a bit experienced, but he did live in Capital City where more was going on. But now he comes back to the town. Or rather, it's not even a town, it's a village. So I think Mr. Lee is just expecting like nothing to happen in the village because nothing has happened before. But we know from the game that obviously stuff's gonna happen. Hence why there's a game, right? That's a start. Maybe of some use surveilling the Yanban district. Regardless, we'll discuss such things the day after tomorrow. I do have one question, sir. Have any sort of conflicts been known to break out in the village? Not really. Our village is a peaceful one. Not for long. Not for long. We may see the occasional quarrel between neighbors, but it's rarely necessary for soldiers to intervene in such squabbles. I believe you're close with Yumbuk, are you not? You should direct such questions about day-to-day affairs his way. Will do, sir. Well, that will be for now. Go home and rest while you can. Will do, sir. Have a good day, sir. I feel like that guy's bitter. Because surely he's an official, so he went to the capital before, but then he was assigned to this village, and he's just been staying here and nothing happened, and he's just bored. Turn and left. Well, it's gonna be murder soon, so hopefully we're not the one that's gonna be blamed for it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna be looking at a rough path to start down, but everyone's got to start somewhere. At least I have a day to rest. I better make the most of it because I may not be getting too many of those. Yay, I feel like he's a tough boss. Okay, so who should I visit? Let's go Sura, because we can visit both. Sua, hello. Thank you for taking care of my home, lady. This our best bud. Yuri, you're back. I am. Good to see you, Sua. I just arrived a little while ago. What a surprise. I'm so happy to see you. As am I. How are you? You must be tired. Have you had lunch yet? I have not. Lunch is almost ready. Have a seat. We can eat together. I couldn't possibly say no to a home-cooked meal. It's been a few days since I've had a warm meal. Nothing would make me happier. Plus, I bought you something special from the capital. After everything so I've been through, I knew I couldn't return empty-handed. Took a package out of my bag and handed it to her. Oh, you shouldn't have. What's inside? Open it and see. Carefully opened a parcel, revealing a Sean Jumoni. I forgot what that was. Small pouch people use to carry things. It's pretty useful when there are no pockets in the traditional handbox. Okay. Like a pouch like that. Again, very similar to the pouches that back in ancient China too. They also had this. Like I said, they share a lot of similar cultures. And I suppose, yeah, like they did, like hummocks don't usually have pocket, you know. So obviously you need a bag, but this kind of pouch is so small. Bought at a fancy shop in Hanyang. I knew that she liked to treat herself every once in a while, and this kind of fashion accessory seemed perfect for her. She held the pouch in her hands, beside herself with delight. Wow, love it, but just too much. It must have paid a fortune. You really like it? I absolutely adore it. It's perfect. Thank you so much. No, I should be thanking you. I saw how well you took care of my home. So clean. We never lay empty for so long. You're welcome, but it's really nothing at all. You would have done the same for me. Sure. Put a present away and went back to cooking. You only need it for coins, maybe. Yeah, some small items, I guess. Probably don't carry a lot of heavy stuff. Okay, how's business going? So I grew her own vegetables and sold them at the market. Since we live outside the village, there was an abundance of good farmland nearby. I can't complain. I go down to the market every few days. It's enough to get by. Not always easy, especially in the winter, but things could be worse. Good news is that I worked out a deal with one of the Jumaks in the village and have been supplying them with vegetables these past few weeks. It provides me a regular source of income, means less time hanging around the market stalls. It's a good opportunity for me. It's good to hear. Who knows? Maybe we can work out a few deals with some of the village yangbangs too. Well, I won't get my hopes up. I won't get my hopes up. They have their own land and their own farmers. They don't buy from the likes of us. You never know. Like I said, I won't get my hopes up. Besides, I'm on my own out here. I'll never be able to deliver my goods that far unless, of course, you want to work with me. Let's save that discussion for later. I can give you a hand once in a while, just like before. I'm here whenever you need me, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Are you still playing music? Do you still play the jangu double-sided Korean cushion instrument played horizontally? Can be played from sitting position or while dancing in a pumu troupe. Find one in U.S. home. Is that one at the back? Of course. You're still able to find the time? I try to, maybe once a week or so. I often play at home, but every once in a while I venture into the village. You play alone? Most of the time, yeah. I also play with my friend Sunny. It's a good way to relax after a hard day's work. You must have seen quite a few jungle players during your time in Hanyang, no? I did indeed. The capital is very crowded. They hold all sorts of ceremonies and festivals year-round. I attended several shows and saw some very talented musicians. Lucky. here I am, having never left the village. Would you like to go with me if I ever had the chance to go to Hanyang again? Do you really think I'll be allowed to accompany you? Sure. Can make a promise? Let's make a promise. At the first possible chance we get, we'll hit that together. Thank you. That's far too kind. I can't wait. Do you still visit the children at the orphanage? Of course I do. I make regular trips out that way when I can. And I make sure to go to bring some fruits and vegetables every time I go. I want to visit them too. You know, some of the children asked why you stopped visiting. Did they? As they mentioned it, I guess I did forget to say goodbye. That was rather thoughtless of me. It's alright. I told them about your plans to set off to the capital and become an officer. I'm glad I have you to rely on. There's another thing I owe you for. The village often holds a special place in both our hearts since we were both raised there. There weren't very many children living there when we were young. Since we were the same age, we soon became close friends. So I was the only family I had. At least that was how I thought of her. I think they look up to you like an older brother. Can't imagine how much they all must have grown. You wouldn't believe it, but they're just adorable. Is Mrs. Sun still in charge of the place? She is. Good to hear. I'll be sure to pay them a visit the first chance I get. They'll be delighted to see you. Here you go. Lunch is ready. Got up 2 plates for us. The mouth-watering smell of her cooking filled the house, and suddenly I realized just how hungry I was. I dug in. They really should show us a picture of the dinner. I want to see what they're eating. Sorry, your cooking is as excellent as ever. Thank you too much. It's really nothing to write home about. Not true. You have a knack for taking an ordinary dish and turning it into something extraordinary. Is she a sister? They both grew up in an orphanage, and they were of the same age, so they treat each other like family. But she is his best friend. Were you not paying attention, Herma? You just said that. Need to pay more attention, Herma. I caught ya, see? How about you tell me what you've been doing all these years? Actually, one of the reasons I came by was to invite you for a drink with me and Yunbok at the Jumek tonight. I was hoping to celebrate my return and tell you both about my trip. What do you think? I think it's a great idea. Count me in. I can't wait to hear all about your adventures. Then I'll see you at the Jumek tonight. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Man, I feel like, I regret just picking this one game to play. I feel like I really should play this concurrently with another game because, like, talking 3 hours straight is gonna kill me. Maybe I should cut it short. Oh man, the no voiceover is killing my throat. Okay, Yunbok. Yunbok's home! Yeah, maybe an hour at a time. Maybe an hour and a half, maybe, or something like that. You know? Because I feel like, my throat won't do very well if I go too long with this game. Because as lovely as the art style is, I'm sure the story wouldn't be too bad. You know? Because, okay, it is a visual novel, so I'm a bit more forgiving about it, rather than a point and click. But man, my throat, oh my god. How text heavy this game is. You're gonna wear out your voice. Yeah, I definitely am going to wear out my voice for sure. I need to like play it with another game that has voiceover so I could just chill a bit with my voice. Oh. Because the problem with this one though, it's like, it's not like, say, 90, which is a point and click game, right? And that one's not voiced at all. But because you have puzzles that you solve, so sometimes, I could just take a break. Because there are puzzles and other stuff. So while I need to talk throughout the entire stream and read everything, I could take a little break when I'm trying to solve puzzles and stuff. This one though is just visual novels, so I have to just read everything. I know some people won't do it though. I've seen like some YouTubers and streamers where they don't read everything on screen. But for me though, because I like to play videos while I do stuff on the side. And I hate it when the person does not read everything. Because then they just skip over to the next part. I'm like, wait, what? What did I miss? Because I'm not looking at the screen. So for me, when I try to play games, and I tend to try to read out everything. So in case someone likes to just lurk and have me in the background, while they're doing other stuff, say it's morning, and they just want to chill with breakfast and do stuff while they watch me. I want them to be able to just know everything, all the context of what's going on without having to look at the screen. But that also kills my voice. I've been drinking so much honey water. Oh man. Okay. Yuri! Good to see you, pal. When did you come back? Good to see you too, Yumbok. I got back earlier this afternoon. Did you manage to get past the Guagyo? I did. Well, really? Congratulations. That's terrific news. Are you here on leave or are you back for good? I'm back for good unless I get orders to go somewhere else. I see. Still, it's nice to have you back. Glad to be back. Which means we'll be working together from now on, I suppose. Our little Yuri has become an adult. I've got you to thank for that. You've always been such a great role model for me. Nonsense. This is Yangdong. This place is much too small for me to be anyone's role model. Your job here is probably going to be very different from whatever you did in Hanyang. Anyway, who was your instructor and what did he teach you? Well, he was an instructor for the Royal Guard. What? The Royal Guard? That's right. Got quite a bit of special treatment. I've been very fortunate. You have Mr. Kim to thank for that, am I right? Yes, that's right. That explains it. Only Yangban's rubbed shoulders with the Royal Guard. Mr. Kim must have put a good word for you, or even fibbed a little, that you were part of his family. He must really like you. Okay, Mr. Kim is great. From what I know so far, Mr. Kim is great. Who knows? In time, maybe he'll even offer you his daughter's hand in marriage. His daughter? Come on, be serious. I haven't changed a bit. Mr. Kim's daughter was Yuna. Like everyone from the Yangban class, she was very elegant and refined. But in today's society, unless I was doing a job for them, the elite could hardly be bothered to give a person like me the time of day. Anyway, I'm proud of you. You may know more than I do at this point. The master may become the pupil soon enough. I wouldn't go as far to say that. Imbuk was always so fun to be around. He had a great sense of humor, and it was impossible to be bored when he was around. That being said, he always took his job very seriously. Those two qualities made him quite popular among the village folk. He knew when to be stringent with the rules, but he never lacked for sympathy. In the capital, officers and soldiers were different, demanding respect and seldom seen cracking jokes. I was taught that order was of utmost importance when it came to matters of public safety, and instructed in the ways of upholding that order. But at the same time, I realized that such things weren't held in such high regard in a village as small as Yangdong. And officers' priorities were very different depending on where they were stationed, and here our job was to help out the locals as best we could. Being able to connect the people we were supposed to serve is an excellent quality in that regard. I knew that Yunbok would always have the upper hand when it came to people skills. What should I ask him about? How have your parents been? They're all right. Do they still run that pottery shop in the market? Yep, still going strong. Are they busy? From what I hear, I haven't caught wind of any money problems, so there must be a good deal of customers dropping by. Yunbok was older than me, but when we were children, we used to play together quite often. Sometimes his mother would even cook us lunch. His parents were always kind to me. I'll be sure to drop by and say hello when I'm free. They'll like that. Ask about you all the time. Anything of note will happen while I was away. If you're asking if anyone has committed any major crimes, then no. Not surprising. Not much has changed. Our town's a small one, boasting a few hundred residents at most. Everyone knows everyone. There are no crimes to be committed like the ones you have been seen in Hanyang. We certainly had our fair share of quarrels between neighbors, but nothing serious. Any notable deaths of people I may have known? Nope, no deaths at all over the past few years. Wow, that is surprising. As a matter of fact, nothing really serious happened since you left. What about you? Have you found that special someone and gotten married yet? Sadly, I have not. That's not even possible. Everyone likes you. That's life. Let's just say I've been very fortunate when it comes to the ladies. I'll find someone. Tell me about average day work. If I'm going to be here for a while, I'll let you know what I'm up against. Okay, let me fill you in. There are quite a few number of things I'm normally responsible for. Mr. Lee, the Vigisato, he is the one who assigns us our task. But you may have not been doing the things that I do. I don't think of any reason why I would be treated any differently. Or the task I carry almost is watching over the market, directing the flow of traffic to and from, making sure that no accidents. That's a little outside of my usual line of duties. I sometimes collect taxes from craftsmen and traders. When I'm not doing that, I'm usually just making my rounds in the village, making sure nothing has been damaged. Considering how old some of these buildings around town are, it's not unusual to see. Above all else, it is my duty to protect the young bounds of the village and ensure their safety. I routinely patrol the area where they live. Anyone cheats off my duty. It sounds simple enough, but one must always be vigilant. I see. Anything that might come up? I was once sent to Dongnae to stand in for Mr. Kim at an official ceremony. Dongnae was a large town located in southeast Joseon. That city is now known as Busan. Okay. All the Yangwon guards were present, making the whole affair feel quite regal. I've also stepped in to set a quarrel or two and may have had to calm down a few of the village drunks. All in all, though, it's quite peaceful here. It's a bit frustrating at first, but I was so hungry for action. But in retrospect, life has been peaceful. That's how it should have been. Thanks for the detailed explanation. Are you going to tell me more about what you're doing in Hanya over the past 3 years? Of course. How about over dinner at Jumek tonight? My treat. So I should be there too, so I can tell the both of you everything that happened during my time in Hanya. Excellent idea! You can tell us over a nice meal and a few drinks. That may be just what we need to celebrate your return. I'm glad you agree. Well then, time to get back to work. I'll see you tonight. Indeed, see you tonight. Are you just gonna skip over to nighttime? Can't go back home? Take a rest? Nighttime. They flew by so fast. I'm glad I had enough time to visit Mr. Kim and my friends. What I can see, it doesn't seem like a whole lot has changed during my absence. It's been 3 years, so it's not too long, I suppose. Yangdong's still just a peaceful village filled with kind people. That will change very soon. That will change very quickly. Unless something crazy happens, I predict a boring start to my new career. But that's nothing to complain about. It'll give me the opportunity to put everything I've learned to good use. Honestly, it's just good to be home. I can finally enjoy some peace and quiet. During my time at the capital, my must confess I found a city to be a noisy place the year round. Here in the countryside, things are different. Hear the sounds of nature is even quieter out here, far in town square. I will say though, as a modern person, I'm glad to be born in modern day. And I'm a city girl through and through. I can never stay in the countryside. I need internet. And too quiet thing just scares me. You know, I think I watched too much true crime documentary to ever be able to stay in someone too quiet. I need noise and people. Okay, let me save first. Let's go back. Just get to hear that my friends are doing well. Speaking of friends, I better put away my things while I have the time. Started tidying up all the luggage I dumped in the entranceway that afternoon. Once again, I had to note just how considerate Su'a was as I stumbled upon a bundle of fresh fruits and vegetables she had left for me in the kitchen. She must have known I had nothing to eat and shopped around while I was off talking to Yoonbuk and Mr. Kim. Soon after, the sun was scraping across the horizon. Headed out, directing my steps towards the Jumek for my meeting with Suna and Yoonbuk. The Jumek. There he is! Hey, Yuri! Good evening, Yuri. Oh, you're both here already. Of course, Master Yuri, conqueror of the legendary Gwagyu exam. Summoned us for dinner. I think we'll let you beat us here. Congratulations again, Yuri. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad to see you both again. Were you able to put your feet up at all? Not really, but Mr. King gave me a day off tomorrow so I can rest up before starting any real work. Well, if I'm used to playing games, I'm gonna say that something's gonna happen tomorrow that requires his expertise to solve crime. So thankfully, I'll still have some time to myself. Lucky you. It's been a while since I've gotten a day off. You here, maybe I can finally get some vacation time. I can only hope. Oh, by the way, Suha, thank you for bringing over the fresh produce. You really shouldn't have. It's nothing, really. I just figured your cupboards would be bare and you probably wouldn't have time to shop for food. Well, let's go in then. Tonight's on me. Order whatever you like. Yes, I'm gonna get killed. We gotta solve crime. Look at the money bags duties over there. Should I get rich in your big trip? Not at all. Far from it, actually. I'm just happy to see you both, is all. We're happy to see you too, Yuri. Well, since it's on you and you can afford it, let's have that drink. Hey, miss! Lady who ran the Jumat came over to our table. What can I get for the three of you? One bottle of makgeolli for me, please. Makgeolli is rice wine. Okay, so it's an alcoholic beverage made from rice. It's delicious, by the way. Really easy to drink too. So, what we like to drink? I'll just have sujongwa, if that's okay. What's sujongwa? Yeah, so rice wine. Sujongwa, traditional drink made from cinnamon and ginger. Oh, I'll hate that. I don't like cinnamon or ginger. For the most part. Death flex raised. I mean, it's gonna be some supernatural shit. That lady that appears. It's gonna be a red moon. You could tell from the cover of the game. Are you sure? Yes, it would do me just fine. You know, I'm not much for alcohol. Fair enough. Well then, I'll join you with the makgeolli yumbok. Anything to eat? How's samgyetang sound? That sounds great. I haven't had samgyetang in a while. Samgyetang chicken soup meat with ginseng. Okay, this one is pretty good. Oh, really? Entire chicken is stuffed with rice and herbs boiled and served in clay bowl. That one's pretty good in the winter, actually. Sounds great. I haven't had samgyetang in some time. Have a bowl as well. 3 bowls of samgyetang, please. Coming right up. Well then, Yuri. How about we hear what happened when you arrived at the capital? Well, Mr. King gave me a letter of recommendation that I was to present at the royal palace. But the palace is so big, I knew I'll never be able to find my way alone, so I asked some of the guards patrolling the grounds for directions. Then when I showed up at the entrance to the palace, someone rushed me straight over. Didn't seem at all surprised to see me. I later found out that it was quite common for the Yangbans to send their young employees in for training. The same person asked me about current physical condition and said that I had to take an evaluation test for the following day. After that, I was taken to the palace where I was to live for the next 3 years. It was nothing but a small enclosure outside of the palace walls built to house the servants. The servants gathered to greet you. I wouldn't go as far as to say that. There were quite a few people living there, but they were rather indifferent to my arrival. There are so many people coming and going that most paid no heed to newcomers, other people moving on up to other things. During my trip in Hanyang, I learned that the more crowded a place gets, the less people care about those around them. There's such different energy in the air. So you didn't make any friends? Don't get me wrong, some of the people turned out to be quite friendly, but it took time. For instance, the girls in charge of the washing were very considerate and even helped me in my laundry. Eventually, I even began to take my evening meals with the others residing in the servants' quarters. As time passed, I began to feel like I was no longer a stranger. That's why you met the pretty lady, right? Huh? No, don't listen to him. That's not my purpose of my visit. What's the matter, Suha? What's the matter with me? Nothing at all. Why would you even ask? Never mind, forget I even asked. Okay, Suha definitely has a crush on Yuri for sure. And Yuri, being the idiot, he doesn't know, obviously. That's where I began my training. Most of the time, I was working with a bow and arrow on the ground and from horseback. My instructors were always stressing how important it was to be on horse. To be good on horse, so I practiced riding every day. All that practice must have taken its toll. It did. Because the Gogya exam only takes place every 3 years. And it's further divided into 3 stages that you must pass through. Each component requires you to call upon your training and put it to good use. Plus, you better hope that your body is in good condition and that luck is on your side each and every day you go in for an examination. If the examinees fell from their horses and were immediately disqualified. That's how hard it was. Then they have to wait 3 more years to try again? That's right. Also, you may not be aware, but it's the king who decides the final test. Really? Then you were in the presence of the king? I was? Well, I didn't even know that. After passing all 3 tests, I was sent to the Hodochong Agency for Arresting Thieves. Government body tasked with arresting and punishing criminals during the Joseon area. Okay. That was where I learned the basics of how to conduct a proper investigation. In Hanyang, there are occasional murders and robberies. When those sort of crimes are committed, we must track down the criminals at once. In order to do so, we must investigate the scene of the crime and cross-examine any possible suspects or witnesses. That was the best part for me, piecing together the clues one at a time to uncover the truth. It's quite interesting. There's even this manual explaining the steps to follow for each and every type of crime. Sounds interesting. You got me bested there. I'm not sure how you're going to put such skills to use here. Did you catch any criminals? I did help the investigator solve a few cases towards the end of my stay. But I'm still just a novice. I've got a lot to learn. However, I don't see myself being able to hone those skills if I end up staying here. You can help track down a few stray cats every now and then. Very funny. Besides, investigative skills, I also learned how to patrol a set area and act as bodyguard. It's common for the Yangbans to hire a guard detail to escort them places. And overall, it was an enjoyable experience. It was quite so, of course. I miss you both and felt rather lonely from time to time, but all in all, it was a fascinating experience. I learned so many skills that I would have never been able to learn elsewhere. Considering my birth and class, I consider myself fortunate to have been given such an opportunity. Sounds like you put the time to good use. I want to hear more about the capital. What was it like? You were talking about how large and crowded it was. Yes, it's enormous, with at least 200,000 inhabitants, if I were to guess. What, really? You heard me, 200,000. On top of that, the Royal Palace is a city in itself, but I was never allowed inside. It's restricted to all but the royal family and elite guards who watch over them. What do you do for Chuseok then? Do you spend the holidays alone? Chuseok's like New Year. No, there were all sorts of Chuseok events held. I think it's New Year. Is it called Chuseok New Year? Oh, Thanksgiving. Okay, that's different. Harvest Festival. Honing one departed ancestors for his folk games, large amounts of food. Okay. Wait, am I wrong with Chuseok? I'm sorry, it's been a couple years. Obviously. Yeah, it's in September. Okay, New Year is still allowed. Sorry, I'm sorry. I mixed the two up. Not bad. Okay. A lot of Chuseok events, a bit like how we do things here. One time I was lucky enough to see a Namsadang troupe perform on the streets of Hanyang. So it's still a thing. Yes, Chuseok's still a thing. It's I think from what I remember now, it falls on the same day as like the Moon Lantern Festival in Chinese, but it's quite different. Chuseok would be more similar to the Chinese Qingmingjie, which is when you visit the, you know, ancestors, the dead and stuff. So on Chuseok, from what I remember when I was living there, it's quite quiet during that time. Actually, I think because everyone's close. Everywhere is like just, yeah. Like Seoul too sometimes could be quite quiet. But the Pyeongjangs are open, like the 7-Elevens and stuff. Convenience store remains open. Yenasadan Trokes are a group of street performers known for their acrobatics, singing, dancing, and circus-like antics. Wow, that's amazing. I would see such a performance. I also attended a Sedum tournament. Sedum? Traditional Korean wrestling. Yeah. Similarities to sumo, but without the huge weight gain. Tournaments were held all over Korea during the Joseon era and are still being held to this day. Since there are so many people living in the city, the stadium was packed with participants and spectators alike. The prize pool was also significantly larger. I'll cherish the memories of my time there. The room brought the dishes and drinks we ordered to our table. Now they show the food. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted to see when earlier when we were having lunch with Sula. Yeah, so this is ginseng chicken soup and the drinks. 3 bowls of samgyetang, pitcher of sujongwa, and a bottle of makgeolli for 2. Thank you. How about drink to Yuri? Ganbei. So this like cheers. Ganbei. Ganbei is similar in sound to ganbei in Chinese. Capital seems like a nice enough place. I'm sure you enjoy it if you ever got a chance to go. And find anything you could possibly dream of there. All sorts of food and goods that we simply don't have here. We ate, drank, and talked on for hours. Must be heading home before it gets too late. Same here, I have to get an early start tomorrow. I had a wonderful night. Thanks, Yuri. You're welcome. Just glad we're finally able to spend some time together again. I'll see you home, Sula. We're heading in the same direction. Alright, let's go. Like ganbei and yes. So it's all similar in sound to ganbei. So I imagine it's in a way like inspired by the Chinese letters. The Chinese word for it. They didn't change it over the years, so it's still the same. Good night, Yoonbuk. Good night, you two. The sun has long since fallen. I found myself peering this way, and not as if I was Sular's bodyguard. What are you doing, Yuri? I'm sorry, I was trying to be careful at night. I guess it's becoming somewhat of a habit from my time in the capital. Ah, it's very kind of you to be so alert. You know you don't need to do that. This place is far from the capital in both distance and danger. You're right, I'll work on it. Do you think you enjoy living here again? Life here is different from life in Hanyang. Only time will tell. For the moment, I'm just glad to be back. If I were to find it difficult to adapt, could you return to the capital? As you know, I don't think I'm in any position for choosing where I am assigned. True. If you were told to go back to Hanyang, you'll tell me, right? Of course. Well, here we are, so cool. Head on in. Thank you, Yuri. Good night. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Sure, I'll be around. Sweet dreams. After seeing Suha inside, I went straight home. It's been a pleasant evening with plenty of drinks to go around, but I could feel the exhaustion from the trip catching up to me. I was asleep when my head hit the pillow. That's so much reading. I'm gonna stop soon, since I'm on day 2 anyway, so I got to save and stop. You know, finish with day 1, that's it. We didn't even get to the murder yet. Anyone home? Was there someone at my door? Anyone there? So early, who could be calling at this hour? Officer Yuri! See, I told you something's gonna happen. I told you. I rushed. Threw up my blanket and rushed to the door. I'm just gonna finish the door knocking part first. Officer Yuri, I'm so sorry to disturb you. You must come at once. What's going on? The Sato sent for you. So yeah, it says it's urgent. Okay, but why is he? There's been an incident in the village. I understand. Am I to report at the town hall? Yes, please hurry. I won't be more than a minute. Let me get my things. I put on my gat and ready my horse. Gat? Oh, hat worn by Korean. Okay, men. Okay. Jumped into my saddle and we set off for a gallop to the Yangon district. We're getting to the murder, I suppose. Let's see if I can get to the murder part first or anything before I stop. Okay. I got to the town hall. Mr. Kim and Mr. Lee were waiting for me. They looked concerned. You called for me? We did, Yuri. Please have a seat. You saw Yunberg yesterday, did you not? Yes, sir, I did. What sort of state was he in when he saw you? Did something happen to Yunberg? The guard said that there was an incident. For now, please focus on answering my questions. All shall be explained in time. Please don't tell me our friend died. Fuck, I like the guy. He died? No. Understood. I saw him twice yesterday. The first time we met, it was early in the afternoon, just after I arrived. We had a short chat at his place. At night, we met once more at the Drumak, the one close to the southern gate, a short distance from my home. We had dinner together. Suha was with us too. When did you part ways? It was plenty late in the evening when we said our goodbyes. You went straight home? Yes, sir. I walked Suha home and then went straight home myself. I remember Yubot saying that he needed to get up early in the morning and that he didn't want to go to bait too late. He made it sound like he was going straight back to his place. Mr. Kim, did you instruct Yubot to report for duty early this morning? I did not. I see. Yuri, was Yubot acting strange at all? No, sir. I don't believe so. Forgive me on standing out of line. Will you please tell me what happened to Yubot? You should tell him. Yuri, there's been a murder. Oh no, he's a suspect. One of the women of the village. She was found dead in her home this morning. What? Seems as though your return has brought with it a share of bad luck. Fuck you, bitch. That's not my fault. I'm truly sorry, sir. Well then, Yuri, I heard from Mr. Lee that you learned how to carry out an investigation. Is that correct? Yes, sir, it is. Then you're to look into this affair and give us a report of your findings. Sirs, are you implying that Yunbok is a suspect? Let us not jump to conclusions without seeing the evidence first. That being said, he claimed he had duties to carry out early this morning, though that is clearly not the case. In addition to the unsettling fact that he has disappeared from the village without a word of warning. You must see how suspicious this looks. It is your duty to uncover the truth behind this matter. We're aware of how close you two are, but you must remain impartial. Can we trust you to carry out this investigation in an unbiased manner? Yes, sir, you have my word. Yuri, this rumor will spread like wildfire throughout the village, and people may start to panic. I've lived my entire life in Yangdong, but I've never experienced anything like this. I trust that you do your best to catch the person responsible for this heinous act. You start by giving me some information about the victim. Her name was Miss Han. She lived alone somewhere to the north. And we believe she was murdered? There's not a doubt. Go and see the crime scene for yourself. Yes, sir. I shall head there at once. Yuri, are you certain you're up to this task? Yes, sir. I've taken part in this exact sort of investigation. I will give it my all. Then you may go. Report back the instant you know you have any information for us. Oh man, I need to stop soon. Let's just go see the body and then I'll stop there and continue next time. What's going on here? It must be a bad dream. I can't believe Yunbo would ever do something so horrible. I better get to the bottom of this at once and prove his innocence. But first things first, to the scene of the crime. Miss Han's house. I rode as fast as I could to the village of Miss Han. When I arrived, I found a guard posted at her door. He looked a little shaken. You, sir, you must be Yuri. I am. I have orders to let you in. Do you have any weaknesses? Yes, the woman next door. She discovered the body this morning. Did she explain how she happened upon the corpse? Apparently they're co-workers, so they walk to work together most mornings. Is she home now? Yes, she lives right over there. One at the house next door. She's in shock, but you should be able to get a few answers out of her. How have you come about this information? I live nearby, so I heard the screams. That's when I rushed in and saw the body. After that, I went straight to the statue to tell him what I found. He came to see for himself. They told me to stand guard until you arrived. Does the victim have any next of kin? No, sir, not in this village. According to her neighbor, she lived alone. Very well, I'll go and examine the body. I'm going to need you to stand guard a while longer. After that, I'll question the witness. Understood. Oh man, my throat. Let me get this straight. A woman goes to her neighbor's house early in the morning before heading off to work. Finds her neighbor lying dead in her home and screams in shock. This guard who lives nearby hears the screams, rushes over and confirms that the victim is dead. Now to examine the body, I can only hope I'll be able to find a cause of death. Are you gonna show me the body? Okay, you know, no body shown, just blood. Oh my god, I'm just gonna stop here. Good place to cliffhanger. I suppose like the game is not gonna get too graphic. So as the I think the Steam reviews have mentioned that it's not like a gory game. It doesn't show much of like body, blood, and stuff, and it is not a point and click. So unlike say Murders on the Yangtze River, where you can get to look at the body and explore and find clues about the place, this one is pure visual novel. You don't get to do that. I think he just automatically does it, and he just relates the stuff to us as a player. True monologue. But yeah, good cliffhanger for this game, right? It's way good to start. A good place to start. But so far though, I feel like it's not too bad. Like I said, this is a visual novel, so I am more lenient with the game as compared to say a point and click. Because in terms of a visual novel, it is supposed to be like a novel, so you get a slow build up to the storyline. But the good thing about this game, it doesn't take too much time to build up the storyline. They give you context to the character pretty quickly, so you find out really quickly who the guy you're playing as in, why he was in Hanyang, how did he end up there, why was he posted back, you know, and then you get yourself introduced to various characters, what your relationship with them is, you know, who they are, you know, and then right on day 2 you get straight into the murder mystery. So I feel like this is a good build-up so far. I can't comment about the actual like plot line yet because I haven't got there, but it's better than I say most of the games I've played so far. Because I played like several games that in a row that just don't do quite well in terms of story building. So I feel like this one is decent. It is not terrible. Of course, we'll have to see how it progresses and how it ends. The reviews of the game has said that it's pretty straightforward. So it's not going to be a too complicated game, I think. I'm sure there's some plot twists here and there. There are, I think, different endings to this one, because it is a visual novel after all. But I don't think it would be too terrible. Again, not a point and click, so I'm going to be more lenient in terms of that, since obviously you can't really comment much on the UI and the exploration and everything. So it's more focused on character and storyline. And so far, I think it's pretty good. I can see myself being upset at the main character at certain points in the game, yes. But I feel like overall, he's not a bad person. You know? He's definitely not the smartest guy, I think, as we've seen in the beginning when he just was talking to that strange, mysterious woman who we don't know if it's like a dream or a spirit or anything yet. But he's not terrible, I don't think. So far, pretty good. Yeah, maybe he'll grow. Yeah, he'll grow into being like a good investigator, like official guy. You know? He has to have growth, I think. Maybe that's what they're going for. So he's inexperienced, you know, like even though he has helped out with investigations before in Hanyang. But he has mentioned that he didn't directly investigate himself. He's still a novice. He only helped out a little bit. So I can give him a bit of leeway for that. So I feel like, again, the game developers did a good job in explaining away why the character may be acting a little bit, you know, like may not be as good, I suppose. Even though it's just a line or two, but I feel like it's good that they include that, so players would expect, if he's not smart enough to come to a conclusion as quickly as you do as a player, you can sort of understand why. Obviously, so not terrible, not terrible so far. I'm actually pretty like it. The only complaint I would have is the lack of voice acting, which I feel like it's not a big thing that I will give like minus points for, because it's a visual novel. I feel like at least from my past experience, it's kind of normal to not have voice acting in visual novels. For the ones that do have voice acting though, of course it's great when they're able to get like voice acting, but I imagine those are more of a big company thing. I think the people who made this is more of an indie studio, and this game is based in Korea. So I don't know if the studio is Korean. I don't think so, but I might be wrong. Hold on while I look it up. Give me a moment to look up this. I want to know. Let me check it. Who made the game? No More 500. What kind of name is No More 500? They even released a game called Idol Maker. So that's why you're interested in. Okay, wait. No More 500 Studio. Game Studio. Game studio based in France. Okay, so yeah, they're not a Korean company at all. They are game studio based in France. And I will say this, if the Google information for this is correct, then I'm actually very surprised at them getting a lot of like the Korean stuff accurate. I mean, they include like these little tidbits in the game. I mean, yes, they mentioned that a lot of the places and the characters that you see in game are fictional, but they did do their research into like Joseon, Korea, and the terms and everything. They included like a explanation for you for people who are living in France. You know, they're not even Korean made or anything. They're not even Asia based. So I'm surprised. Actually, I'm very surprised. So I guess that's why they didn't get voiceovers. I mean, they're not like say based in Korea or anything. Obviously, if this game takes place in Joseon, Korea, so it's not even normal Korean, because there's a difference between modern Korean and traditional Korean. Like for example, I learned Korean. I can understand the normal Korean when they're talking to me, or when I'm watching like a variety show, right? Even if I have to look away, I can understand like 80% of what's said. But I cannot do that with traditional Korean. So if, like say, even if I learn Korean, I learned Korean all the way to level 5 Korean, okay? So I can understand like modern Korean pretty well, but not traditional Korean, because they are completely different. So if I were to be watching a drama, like say K-drama, if it's a modern Korean drama, I can choose to not look at the subtitles if I don't want to, you know, and still sort of understand what's going on. If it's like the day-to-day conversation. But if I were to be watching a K-drama that's set in the Joseon period of Korea, I won't be able to understand much, because there's a difference. So I think that's why being a game studio based in France, obviously not be able to get voiceover, because they're not based in Korea. It's going to be very difficult for them as a game studio based in France, and a small one at that, I think, to get voiceovers for a game that they made based in traditional, like, the Joseon period of Korea. But from what I've seen, though, I'm very surprised, actually. Mad respect to you for making a game that's not even based in your own culture and actually doing your research to get it right. That's pretty neat, actually, to learn that. I have more respect for this game now. Honestly, because this is someone that actually cares enough about like the culture to learn and research on it. Nancy Drew, anyone? I don't want to bring this up, but Nancy Drew, Message in the Haunted Mansion. What the fuck is gumbo foo? Like, I get pissed off as Chinese, and then I see like games and stuff like not having accurate like Chinese like culture represented and stuff. I'm like, gumbo foo. Fuck you, gumbo foo. What the fuck's gumbo foo? Doesn't exist in actual Chinese. No, like actual Chinese culture doesn't have a thing called gumbo food. But then Message in a Haunted Mansion, Nancy Drew makes it seem like such a huge Chinese thing. I'm like, fuck you, that's not a thing, bitch. Let's see how this respect. Okay, I will have respect that they did their research into the culture and the time set in this game. For example, one of my favorite games of all time is Murder on the Yangtze River. However, that is made by a Chinese studio. So it makes sense that they would do their own research into what's life like at that period of time in their own country and know what's going on in that time period. But as a studio that is based in France, remember France, it's not even in Asia. It's not like a Chinese or Japanese or like company. It's a French gaming studio that is making a murder mystery game based in the Joseon period of Korea, including all these stuff, which I'll show you. Like all this stuff, the index. I mean, it might not seem like much, and I know there's not a lot of like, you know, index for you to find. So obviously it's just like kind of like a minor stuff. It's not as intensive as say like Murder on the Yangtze River with like so much like information about that time period. But I feel like the fact that they included just a little bit shows that they did try to do their research to get accurate representation of how it's like back then. Of course, as they said, everything that's happening in the murder, the places, you know, the town that this game takes place in obviously is fictional. But I still feel respect that they actually did to try to get like good representation for the game that they're making based in Joseon, Korea. You know, and that's respect for the studio. You know, story-wise, though, I've got to judge later, since I didn't get too far in the story yet, but I'm kind of happy with what I see. I might be upset at the main character Yuri and some of the story choices later on, but I will have respect for them trying to do research in this aspect of Korea and stuff, because it's tough to make a game that's not even based in your culture, you know? Because it's hard to get it right. And if you want to do it right, you got to do your research. And this shows that they did try to do research. It may not be much. I'm sure there's some people who would like feel like they could have done more, but I feel like it's good enough for a French studio. And yes, presentation matters. And the fact that it's a French studio that does this, I have respect for that. And then the art is pretty good. I like the art style. Very like anime-like, I think. Very, I would say kind of accurate so far. I like what I see. You know, the houses, though, I could complain that it's a bit monotone, but that is how it's like back in the day. You know, there's not much like color back in the day, I guess. All the houses look pretty much the same. Although I haven't been to a village in Korea before, like the countryside. I have been to some of the Korean houses from back in the day in Korea. I've been to the palace, Gyeongbokgung, and I've been to
It's time to do.
Time to do. What do I do? What do I do? What do you want me to do? But yeah, okay, just to cut this a bit short, because I haven't really finished the game yet, but I like the art style, I like the music. You know, I feel like it's pretty good. The music kind of fits the vibe. And of course, I would want to see more cutscenes, but I think this is a visual novel, so that's not a thing. Character-wise, though, I like it. I like that the build-up is kind of smooth so far. I can only judge for the first, like, hour or so of me playing it. So we'll see how worse it gets. But so far, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with this. So for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.